All right. Well, today's talking point is freedom of speech. And as you know, freedom of speech is being fucking eliminated on a daily basis. If you live in the West, I mean, it's pretty much a given that there's no such thing as freedom of speech because they fucking will do anything they can to make it go away. And you can't say certain things, otherwise you get fucking labeled as a horrible human being. So some things are just completely immune to criticism. Things like LGBT you cannot criticize anything with that. Obviously, like things like racism, religion, things like that. You're not allowed to talk about. So that freedom of speech is kind of out the window. But another thing that is very important in our daily modern world that is going completely off the fucking rails is censorship on social media. Now, I want to show you something because I recently got a 24-hour ban on Facebook for posting a picture of Pablo Escobar. Now, Pablo Escobar wasn't a great person. He killed lots of people, his rivals, politicians, all kinds of people, and he was a drug lord and he was responsible for a lot of bad shit. But he was a human being who existed and is a part of history, and really posting a picture of him isn't something that a social media outlet should not allow you to do. And because I posted just a simple picture of Pablo Escobar, I'll show you it now. They banned me because it's not allowed on their platform to bring up a person in history. Uh, it's fucking stupid, and it's fucking happening more and more and more, and people need to fight it because you're not allowed to talk about certain things. You're not allowed to criticize things. I don't fucking believe in that. I believe that everything should be open to criticism, and I believe that especially comedy should have no bounds. There should be nothing stopping you making fun of or being, joke about something. Nothing. Kids with cancer, fucking religions, LGBT, fucking religion, there's nothing that you shouldn't be allowed to make fun of in this world. And it's because people have their foot so far up their own assholes is that they don't like to be criticized. So you're taking away our freedom of speech. And human beings should be free to talk about what they want to as long as it's not threatening or, fraudulent, stuff like that. They're against the law. But as far as anything goes, you should be able to criticize anything you want. And you shouldn't be restricted on what you do on these social media sites when they're really not that much of a big of a deal, Like if you post a big picture saying I'm recruiting for ISIS on Instagram, yeah, that's probably not the best thing to doing it. But these companies now, these big tech companies, will censor everything you can think of, anything. If it shows up on a keyword and an AI finds it, you'll get banned, you'll get kicked. Reddit is a notoriously terrible fucking site for this. I've been banned from subs. I've been fucking, if a moderator catches you saying something they don't agree with, you'll get banned. And that's fucking fucked. So fuck Reddit. Reddit is a stupid site because when you put it in the hands of people, if you go against their opinions or their beliefs, you're on the firing line, and it's bullshit because you should be able to talk what you want. And our freedom of speech is threatened with extinction because you just can't talk about certain things. You're not free to discuss the things you want to discuss because there's so many taboo topics in today's world. I've already listed them. Everybody knows what they are. You just don't talk about certain things. And that's led to a society that we're just so there's so many ideologies bouncing around in people's heads and conflicting with each other that it's just bound for disaster. and we're not an open, free society. Men's mental health, the biggest taboo one out there, because men are just seen as a utility. We're meant to work our whole lives and provide for women and children, and that's the only thing that society sees young men as. And young men are the most, you know, they have their survival instinct is kicked into high gear all the time. Where they're gonna live, who they're gonna date, how they're gonna provide. It's constantly trying to survive, and young men particularly, are shunned in today's society in favor of older people, women, obviously with children. We're lower on the totem pole, And if there's a fire, women and children leave first. If men burn to death, we're disposable. We're sent to war. We're sent to die because women and children are held at such a higher value in our society. And that's fucked up. And if we talk about it, it's wrong. And you know what? I don't give a fuck because nobody really listens to me anyway, so I can say it. I will say the things that people are too afraid to talk about because I believe in free speech. I believe that everything should be criticized because there are just some things in this world that you can't touch, and that's wrong. Because if we're ruled over and not allowed to express how we feel about something, then that's just tyranny, and that's bullshit. That might be rambling a little bit, but it's fucked up that we get censored so hardcore in today's world, and it's only gonna get worse.